Hey everyone, Mazer here, and today we're on a quest to answer the age-old question, do these games actually exist? You see, if you're like me, you've seen these games advertised all over the internet. From TikTok to YouTube, you cannot escape these ads. They generally show someone playing the game badly, I might add, while hyping up the game's difficulty, only for you to download the game and discover that it's something else entirely. Oh, sure, these influencers claim the games are real, but we all know the truth. They're either a tiny portion to a larger game or just so chock full of ads it renders the game unplayable. As such, I've taken it upon myself to determine if these games actually exist, and if they do, are they playable? I scoured the Play Store and chose a handful of games to test. I played each for about an hour, just long enough to get a good idea of what the game is all about, and during that time I took note of how well the gameplay fits with the advertisement, as well as how many ads interrupted my experience. I also took into account on whether or not the game is actually fun, and that is what I'm here to discuss today. Now, I have broken down the discussion into 4 categories. What does it advertise? How does it play? How many ads are there? And finally, does it play as advertised? With that said, let's talk about the first game we played, The Last War. Last War is described as a survival game with strategic zombie dodging and quick combat. It advertises fast movement, base building, and a multiplayer interaction. Right off the bat, you can see that the pictures used are nothing like the description. The images are the same generic garbage that you see advertised on YouTube all the time. There's nothing here that screams fast action or zombie apocalypse. Even the thumbnail is some basic bitch design. In fact, a quick browse through the Play Store resulted in several other so-called games with nearly identical thumbnails. This does not sell me on the concept, nor does it make me feel like I'm playing a legitimate game. It looks like something that would fill my phone with advertisements or just straight up sell my information. Okay, let's just get this out of the way right now. I'm legitimately surprised on how good this game plays. At first, it plays kind of like you'd expect it to. You drag a soldier left and right across the screen as he shoots up hordes of enemies. You can destroy barrels to gather weapons, upgrades, and gather more troops, while gates will either increase or decrease your party size. It does have zombies, and the little soldiers you control are, in fact, the same ones we see on the advertised photos. But after a few rounds, you're introduced to the aforementioned base building portion of the game. Now, this is where I expected it to turn in some kind of tower defense game, but to my surprise, it only exists to strengthen your forces, gather resources, and overall give you a visual representation of your progress. The game also introduces heroes. Heroes are permanent soldiers that you can collect and level up in order to fight off the zombie horde. If you played other gacha games before, then you already know what to expect. You collect characters, level them up, and use resources to strengthen their stats and weapons. As advertised, this actually does add some level of strategy to the game. Heroes come in 3 flavors: defense, offense, and healing. How you position them greatly affects how efficient they are in combat and can greatly determine whether you win or lose a battle. There are also a wide variety of gameplay styles which again caught me by surprise. There are radar missions where you can explore a map, there's rush modes where you control the hero's special abilities as they race through a level, there's a player versus zombie battle mode where both sides have their heroes duke it out, and there's even a player alliance mode where you can team up with other people from around the world to share resources and help each other out in combat. There's even a mini game that I encountered where you rescue a hero from a bomb by finding wire cutters and freeing her within a time limit. It also has a storyline, something involving an evil dictator and his zombie army. It is shown through comic book style cutscenes, although I only got to see one portion of this during my first hour. Now, I know what you are thinking. All these modes are fine and dandy, but what if I just want to run and gun as advertised? Well, that's still the primary gameplay loop. Every mission you do is just a varied version of this mechanic. It is also fully voice acted, the heroes are delightfully cartoonish, and the base building is never too intrusive to detract you from the core gameplay. Now, as reluctant as I am to admit this, I actually really enjoyed playing this game for this first hour. Like, I am shocked at how much I enjoy playing this. I think it's because it's a combination of the thing we see is advertised with the base building gotcha system that I'm kind of a fan of it in other mobile games like AFK Arena and stuff like that, but I actually liked playing this during that first hour. Okay, Mazer. So the game is fun, but is it even playable, or does it ruin the experience with thousands of unskippable advertisements? Shockingly, it doesn't. During my first hour of gameplay, I did not come across a single advertisement that interrupted the game. Not one. Instead, it has the usual in-game store that you've seen in other mobile games. The store offers in-game currency, heroes, upgrades, and the ability to fast-forward base builds so you don't have to wait. It also offers the usual battle passes, seasonal reward upgrades, and multiplayer bonuses. But none of these are mandatory. All can be achieved through normal gameplay. It's just a matter of grinding for what you want. Furthermore, it's very rare for the game to remind you about the store unless you accidentally click on something. Now, there is something that pops up every time you boot the game, just like a little flash ad. Hey, guess what's on sale today? But that's practically it. Other than those things, there are no advertisements to be seen, at least during my first hour. Now, this is something of a mixed bag because I know a majority of people would judge the game strictly off the screenshots used in the Play Store. If we're going by that alone, then this has very little to do with what is advertised. However, going by the actual description of the game, it does as advertised. You build a base, there's some strategy involved with how you upgrade and maneuver your troops, and there's a multiplayer aspect, both cooperative and competitive. It does have hordes of zombies that steadily get more and more difficult to beat as you play, so in that sense, yes, it does do exactly as advertised. Hell, I dare say it does itself a disservice by not showing the actual gameplay on the store page. Personally, I actually think the game is rather entertaining, and I love the graphical art style. I feel if people saw that instead of the generic crap, they may be more interested in what the game provides. But, you know, it is what it is. They know exactly who they are targeting with these screenshots, and it seems to be working. As of the time of this video, they have over 10 million downloads. Can you believe that? All right, so look, I once again find myself being forced to admit that I enjoy playing this game. I really don't have any major complaints. It plays just like any other gacha game I've played before. You collect characters, you level them up, there's arbitrary wait times for construction and leveling up. You know, the usual McGubbins to keep you coming back for more and more and more, you know. It's the whole piece of candy mentality. Ooh, you log in, you get a reward. Ooh, you level up a character, you get a reward. You know, it is what it is. I'd also like to take a moment to stress, and I do mean stress, bold, italicized, underline, red font, that I am not being paid or sponsored for this discussion of this game. This is not even a review of the game. This is my personal impressions of the game after playing it for 1 hour, okay? If I'm given a game to review or a product to review, I make sure to mention that at the start of the video, and nothing that they offer me will affect how I feel for the product. I will tell you if it's garbage, if I thought it was garbage, but I really want to stress that everything I say is my personal opinion. Please remember to try things out for yourself and get your own opinion on the product, because I already know what I like, other people might not like, and what other people like, I might not like. So I just want to get that big disclaimer out before we finish this video. I also plan on continuing the game in hopes of posting an update when we hit about 10 hours or so. But for now, I am pleasantly surprised with how this game turned out. It's stupidly fun. It really is. It's one of those things that, hey, I got 10 minutes to kill while I'm waiting for something. Let me boot up the game, play a few zombie rounds, gather a few resources, level up my heroes. You all know the mobile game experience, and this provides that. So I am optimistically right now enjoying my experience so far. But there you have it, our personal thoughts of the first hour of gameplay. Again, if anything changes, we'll do a follow-up video, and we will be back with another one of these videos where we continue exploring the Play Store for other games of this variety to find out if they are real or a bunch of advertisements with a cheap game thrown into the mix. All right, so thank you everyone for joining me today. I am Mazer, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.